Hello, and welcome to another episode of Profoundly Silly Wisdom, the channel for people who are ready to start living as their authentic self and stop following all the shoulds. So today's topic is basically, has your spiritual life stalled? Has your personal growth stalled? And it's really covering the two reasons that this happens. So stay to the end, because I'm also going to give you a tip on how to get moving again. I'm not just going to tell you why you've got stuck, but I will help you to get unstuck. This is my job. I actually work with individuals as well to help them get unstuck. So the first card I got, and just to give you a bit of context when I was tuning in as to what to cover, was the Eight of Wands. Now, in reverse position, this is basically stuckness. So the wands are all about fire, they're all about inspiration, passion, creativity. So when the Eight of Wands is upright, it means things are moving really quickly or about to move quickly. So get ready, to get into action and to take advantage of the energy. But when it's reversed, it's about, things are not working. No matter how hard you try, you just keep getting stuck and you just can't get traction. So it's really frustrating. And the context card I got was the Hierophant. And again, this was in reverse position. So the Hierophant sort of refers to institutions, it refers to learning, it refers to being taught, basically. So it's all of the conditioning that we get as well, through our family, can be through religion, through society, even through advertising and all of the sources of information, but particularly institutions. So in reverse position, it's kind of pointing to the fact that maybe it's now time to start tuning inwards instead of listening to society at large. And so that points to the two reasons that we get stuck, that our spiritual life stalls. So the first reason is, it refers to the shoulds that we've talked about, all the things that we get taught, by our education system, by our family, by society in general, that we should be doing. So it could be, for example, the first reason could be that the goal that you're pursuing in life is not actually aligned with your authentic desire. So that's one problem, because if we're taking all of our information from the authorities, from our conditioning, from our programming, from what we were taught we should be doing with our lives, and we're not actually tuning into our own truth, then it could be that we're ignoring our truth. So that's the first reason that we get stuck, that we're pursuing a goal that is not aligned with our authentic self. The second reason we get stuck, so if you like, the first reason is the what, the thing that we are pursuing is not aligned. The second reason that we stall in our spiritual journey is that it might not be that the thing that we're actually pursuing is wrong per se for us, or is not aligned for us, but it's more a question of the fact that we are trying to make it happen from our conditioning. So if you think about it, you might have a dream to, it could be a dream in any context. It could be a dream to set up a business. It could be a dream to have a loving family. Perhaps you didn't even grow up in a very loving environment, and your dream is to have that loving environment, and that family life that you never had, for example. So whatever it is, it's not necessarily that the thing that you're pursuing is not aligned with your truth, but it's actually that you're trying to make it happen from your conditioned mind instead of tuning into your heart. So you had that initial excitement. When you think about this dream, you got excited, you started pursuing it, and it was all lovely. And then suddenly this happened, and it seemed like whatever you tried just wasn't working. And it could be that because you've tried to make this thing happen from your conditioning rather than actually tuning in. Now, I love the way that Mike Dooley refers to this as the cursed hows. So if we've already had the what, the goal that we're pursuing, is it aligned? Because if it isn't, that's going to lead us to this situation. But equally, the goal we have is aligned, but we're trying to force it. We're trying to make it happen from this energy of maybe fear that it's not going to happen for me, unless I work really hard, unless I put sort of force and push and, you know, bleed and yeah, put all of that effort in. So basically, those are the two reasons. So it's either the what that we're pursuing isn't right for us at the fundamental level, you know, it's not aligned with our true desires, or it's that we're trying to make it happen from our minds instead of again tuning back into our hearts. So what do we do about this? Well, you know, there's actually, and this is the tip that I'm going to share. I'm just diving straight into the tip here. um it's, you know, if what we need to do is to come back to our hearts, then the one of the most powerful and simple ways to do that is place your hand on your heart and just test. You know, make what I call, I'm going to call this the soul pledge. I'm calling this yeah, this exercise the soul pledge, or the soul, the truth tester, the inner truth tester. I like that better, actually, inner truth tester. You know, instead of asking everybody in your family or you know at your workplace what you should be doing with your life, is this a good goal for me to pursue? Instead, put your hand on your heart. You know, take a few moments to center yourself. You know, you don't want to do this when you're stressed, because that's another thing. You know, when our minds are really, really busy, we can't hear the quiet voice of our heart. You know, it's called the still small voice for a reason, because it doesn't really shout above the noise of all of the opinions in our head. So we do, so take a moment, you know, to find a quiet space, maybe take a few deep breaths, place your hand on your heart, or even both hands on your heart, and then just check, say a statement out loud. So for example, you know, if you're in a relationship and you're not sure whether this is, you know, whether this relationship has, you know, is aligned with your long-term goals, for example, or your long-term vision, then place your hands on your heart and say, make a statement, say, this relationship is aligned with my long-term vision or my long-term goals. Put it in your own words, you know, don't use my words. Find the words that are right for you, and then just notice how you feel in your body. Because if it's true, you will get that spark of a yes feeling, you know, because yes feels good to us. And if it's not, you'll get a kind of heavy feeling. And again, if you're not very attuned to your yeses and your nos, you might not be very aware of what happens in your body. Go to check out my video where I share the yes, no, maybe exercise, because that will help you to make these statements and really know. But we all have this sense, you know, of what feels true for us, and things that are true for us feel good in our body, and things that are not true, they feel a sort of, for me, it's like a draggy feeling. So yeah, so you can test whether the goal you're pursuing is aligned for you using that simple method. And all it requires is you just to, like I say, just to get into a space where you're quiet, so your mind isn't racing. You know, you can't do this when you're having a panic attack. You know, it's just not going to work. To get into that quiet space, ask your question, you know, whatever it is, and put it in the words that are right for you. And don't use words like good, because, you know, basically, you know, good can mean anything. Be clear about what you're asking. So if you were coming back to the relationship, if you were saying, is this a good relationship for me? That's not a great question. What do you mean by good? Healthy? You know, is this a fulfilling relationship for me? Use words that actually really are, you know, are clear about what you really want to know about. And this actually asking these questions is very helpful, because it starts to make you realize, oh, I'm not clear about what it is I want out of this. So it will actually help you to get clearer, even just by doing this exercise. And what about the reason too? You know, we're trying to make things happen from our mind instead of trusting our heart to guide us. Well, you can use this, you know, you can use this exercise to actually help you decide what actions to take. I actually do this because I'm setting up a business. So there are so many tasks, to do, so many things to learn. You know, if this is a new skill set for you, any given day is like I could be doing there. Yeah, the list is endless. So sometimes when it's not clear to me, what should I be focusing on right now? Well, what's most helpful for me to focus on right now? Because again, the should always is like what someone else thinks. What I want to know is, what does my soul think? What does my heart think? What is the most aligned thing for me to be focusing on right now? So I would do that, and I will use that statement, that truth test statement, to help me decide what to focus on. So like today, for example, I do exercise every day, but I don't do it always at the same point. So I'll say, now is a helpful time for me to do my exercise, or even I just want to do my exercise right now. And I'll just take a breath, say the statement, notice how I feel. I use this to help me decide what to focus on and in what order, because when there are just too many things, you get overwhelmed. And so it works, for very simple things. And the more you start to do this, the more you will start to tune into your inner truth, instead of listening to all of the authorities, because they don't know, if someone else is not living your life, they don't know what's right for you. They may have some expertise in things. I'm definitely not against mentors. If the Hierophant had turned up upright, it might be saying, yeah, get some good advice from someone who actually knows what they're talking about. But so often we just ask people because we haven't discovered how to tune into our own truth. So yeah, I hope you found that helpful. So yeah, just to remind you, the two reasons that we get stuck in our spiritual life, that we stall, is either because what we're pursuing is not aligned with our own, with our deepest desires, or that we're trying to make it happen from our head, so instead of allowing our heart to guide us. So yeah, if you like that, then leave a comment in the comment section below. I'm actually hoping that we start to have a conversation on this YouTube channel, so it's less of me just sharing my thoughts and more discussions and things, because I'd love to hear basically your experience of where you've stalled, and where have you done the truth test? Have you checked whether it's the thing that you're pursuing, or perhaps it's just that you're trying to make it happen from your head instead of tuning into your heart? Let me know. I am genuinely interested, and I will respond to your comments. And if you are stuck, if you are in a situation where you're stressed and you really can't tune in, and you don't know what the answer is for you, maybe you have an important decision to make in your life, or maybe you've just kind of got stuck in general, and you want help in unpicking why you've got stuck and what you can do to move forward, in your spiritual life, or it could be in your career, then check out the description box below, because I am a coach. I'm a qualified coach, but I also work with intuitive tools like the tarot, because they're so powerful at actually helping us to drill down and work out what's happening underneath. So yeah, if that sounds appealing to you, or you're even just curious about it, check out the link in the description box below. And if you want to, if you're feeling isolated also in your spiritual journey, and you want to join a group of people who are learning to walk their soul's path, but learning in a community, and a fun community at that, a joyful community, then again, check out the description box and sign up for the mailing list, because we currently meet about every 6 weeks. We have a fun gathering together online. So yeah, if you're feeling a bit cut off from spiritual folks, then you're welcome to join us. It's a very accepting and loving community. And yeah, I think that's it. I know I'm supposed to say other stuff. Like the video, and subscribe to this channel if you want to hear more profoundly silly, wise thoughts. And let me know how you're getting on. I'm really quite nosy, actually. Bye.